Hey, it is July 7th, and 2 days ago I had a backyard concert here with Tiffany Sparrow. She's great. Yeah, Métis singer-songwriter, although she has a lot of different musical experiences and has been a lot of different kinds of people.
It's called Good Place, and so I wrote this song just based on that request. Took a walk today, new stories in my mind. Carry few regrets, just wish for one more time. Now the fading light casts shadows on my walls.
And that concert was there in the backyard. So this is a beautiful, magical backyard space. This was the kind of space I was looking for an album release in COVID times. And the whole idea of a backyard concert for me goes back to COVID times and back to the experiences I had as a musician during COVID times. So definitely one of the things I had decided during COVID times is that I need a little bit of a backyard Hawaii wherever I live. I mean, this fits on my 10 by 10 patio. You know, another great escape can be the arts. Music, performance. I really love these circus type performers too. The arts can be a fantastic escape. Everyone has Netflix, everyone's seen like the big productions, but there's never enough to support local arts. And I'm really grateful for the support I got as a performer in COVID times, and every time everyone gives me a performance or a good gig as a performer. And part of me building a backyard concert series is, well, I wanted to give some other opportunities for other local performers. Well, that, and also bring people together, of course. So let's go on a bit of a walk. My neighbor is going a bit rogue here on what he's doing to the backyard. We'll see what the condo board thinks about that. That'll be a fun interaction. Will it go through? Will there be an issue? I don't know. Anyways, we might have wildflowers. So I'm just walking down the street here, and when I was doing these COVID type performances, a backyard space like that actually would not have been as good a space to have a performance. But these kinds of concerts where I would gather people, the ones that actually worked the best for me were when we, I don't know, just right up on a driveway like that, in kind of a densely populated space where it was easy to get through. So if people could get to it, then what I would find is the sound of the marimba, which I was playing, bringing my marimba band out. This sound would draw people out. People would come from everywhere. What's that? What's happening? So actually, you know, like a street space like this might actually be, in a lot of ways, a better space for gathering people for a community concert, in terms of like, you know, just drawing people out when they don't know a thing is happening. Definitely, I have to work a lot harder to bring people out. You know, maybe put up some posters like this. So I put up posters all along my townhouse complex here. So there's like probably 150 units in this townhouse complex. What I like with building the community concert idea is I have focused on the hyper-local. You know, I'm not going to try and bring people out to a bar. I'm not going to try and bring them to this venue, but like, can you do something hyper-local for the community? And that's part of what I'm building here. Am I benefiting the community? Here in my backyard, this is my community. This is my space. Being local is your space. Your backyard is your space. So it's really fun to be able to make something that's of benefit for your community, your neighbors, your friends. That's kind of an interesting thing, is like often we're connected by people over the internet now, or our jobs are not necessarily exactly local to where we are. It's interesting how you connect with people, and a lot of times you don't connect with the people right next to you. So I do find the community concert is a really cool way of connecting to the people close to you, the people around you. This is the McDougall Central community, my townhouse complex of the 150 units that's called McDougall Landing. It's a little bit more noisy. It's a little more high energy out here. My backyard space, unlike the ideal space for the street shows in COVID, unlike what I could do in that park, the backyard space is very calm. It is like a surprisingly calm and serene place in the middle of downtown Edmonton. Like, how is there such a beautiful, calm, serene space in downtown Edmonton? I don't know. I actually think this southernmost backyard that I have there, that I share with the immediate neighbors, I think it might be the best backyard space for this. In a few ways, I feel lucky. I could probably do it in a backyard space like that. That would probably work too. I've chosen my own space. I think it's fun when it is personal. There have been a lot of other community concerts that have been born around the COVID type time. So 2020 was such an interesting time there. Well, everyone found the world shut down. And then what do? Well, in the performing arts, like, people who wanted to play, they lost everything, really. But I was one of a few people in the Edmonton area with my band, Stone Percussion, who did not give up. We wanted to keep playing. There were a few other musicians. Definitely leading the way in Edmonton was Martin Kerr. Martin Kerr has been a street performer forever, so Martin Kerr had the idea of how to perform on the streets. I and a few other people just kind of emulated that a bit and kind of came up with our own ideas, and we called them physically distanced community concerts. So those were fun. Oh, look, here's another poster that hasn't blown away yet. Now, the other thing I ended up doing here is I've made my plan. Now there's an Instagram. I've got a website bit. So McDougall.backyard on Instagram is the Instagram for my backyard. I don't really exist as an individual human on Instagram, but my band is on Instagram, Stone Percussion, and now my backyard is on Instagram. So I don't know, why do I want to be on Instagram? Like, there's already Facebook and other stuff. So in 2020, the world shut down, and Martin kept playing. Like, I don't know, I think he did at least 250 concerts that summer, where he would just set up in the middle of a street like this and say, hey everyone, stay on your driveways, and you can enjoy from your driveway, enjoy from a safe distance. Something can happen, something beautiful can happen. We're not allowed to do anything in this global pandemic. People have to keep their distance, but you can enjoy music from a distance. So Martin found the way, also taking some sort of payment or donations from that. There have been variations on that. So in 2020, I did 30 performances on people's lawns and driveways with my band, Stone Percussion. One of the things I found is, at that time, neighbors would come out and they really appreciated it, and nothing else was happening, which is why they really appreciated it. I mean, they would probably appreciate it anyways. There was another effect I found quite interesting, is that hey, these neighbors who are coming out, they've usually been about their busy lives doing different things, and do we actually say hi to the people who are close to us, to the people around us? Okay, walking back into our backyard from a different way. A lot of time we're so connected to everyone else, but are we connected to the people around us? Are we connected to the people who live next to us? So these community concerts, physically distanced, that we had, were a great way to bring people out, but yeah, it was a great way to get the neighbors together, get friends together, whatever distance appropriate for safety. That's how people could see each other in a global pandemic. Well, you keep your safe distance, and it was kind of this connecting experience. Neighbors just would not talk to each other, pandemic or no pandemic. So it was kind of a beautiful time where, I mean, you know, it wasn't all a beautiful time. A lot of it was terrible. There was a pandemic, but there's a beautiful thing that could come from this where people might actually say hi to the people around them. I'm not the only person who's made concerts like this. You know, there's a bunch of other community concerts that have come about. There's one just off White Ave that I've been asked to play at a bunch, or I got into. So E.L. Hill Park, they found that this group of neighbors, you know, the musicians had nothing to do in COVID, and then they would invite musicians out and pay them by donation, a little bit more than just busking. How much should a musician be valued at? How much should the arts be valued at? Busking has become a lot more difficult of late. Like, I've done busking to some capacity since, I don't know, about 2012, bringing my ridiculous, giant, overpriced marimba onto the side of the street. In 2012, I could make a day's wage. 2024, I kind of decided, like, I have to stop. This isn't working. It wasn't working anymore. It used to work, and it was a great way to have a lot of people see you perform and get some connections and stuff. Especially with the size and cost of my instrument, I can't just do it if there's no guarantee of money. Oh, there's some neighbors' kids waving. That's kind of fun. Yeah, as I'm making a little cell phone video here. That's cute. Busking on its own, at least in Edmonton, I'm not sure if it'll work. 2024, I was still doing the St. Albert Farmers Market, and it's like the biggest farmers market in Western Canada. And it's like, great, 20,000 people can see you, and maybe you get some other gigs from it, but like, you don't get enough money to justify the cost of bringing out your giant instrument and a couple friends to make it a band. I mean, I used to do solo, maybe there's another way. It's tough. And I do think being a performer, being a musician, has gotten tougher and tougher for the average performer, for the average musician. There's still a way, there's always a way. It's getting tougher. With the community concert thing, though, there's a way of framing it. There's a way of asking that people will give more when it's presented in a way of how people are supporting the arts and supporting something that is important. People will support that. In a straight up busking situation, maybe one of the issues is a move away from cash, and there really aren't perfect solutions to that. QR codes, email ways, yes. The phone app ways for taking credit card payments are challenging. The kinks are not worked out. Maybe there'll be like another device invented somewhere. Maybe some of these devices exist in other parts of the world, not Canada or the US. I keep checking into that, and I keep hoping there'll be a best solution. However, what I have found is, however you look at it, the way of asking when it is a framed concert, a framed arts experience, an audience will give more generously than they do in a straight up busking kind of situation, which actually does create a scenario where it can be a viable gig for the performer, a viable wage. And that's another thing, is like people, they think, oh yeah, I'm just paying this performer for the 1 hour they're here, but I don't know, they have to dress up maybe and have their instruments, which have costs, and a website which has costs. Here's another poster. All these advertising costs. How much time does it take you to practice to put together something? If you bring a band, maybe you're paying 2 other people, you got a 3-person band. How big is the band? I mean, do they each want a day's wage? There's administration. Like, I find I personally send a lot of emails to get gigs now. It's like I have to hustle to get the gigs. Like, oh my goodness, I'm a substitute teacher also, and it is so much easier to get the work as a substitute teacher than as a musician. Like, the work is just there, whereas it is this process to generate the work as a performer. How do you connect to the scenarios? And maybe some people have an easier way. I think most performers, they have to put in some grind into how they keep getting the work all the time. You know, there's marketing and there's sales, and you got to be a marketer and a salesperson. And a lot of times I think you have to do that even more then you're doing the music. And if you don't, you get the work. It's a lot of work. So I am just happy that through my little backyard concert thing and other concerts, series that have come out, like at E.L. Hill Park, that there can be this way of doing a community concert that ends up creating a good opportunity for the performers, a good day of work anyways, even if they've only showed up for that 1 hour. It's more than the 1 hour's work. I have said that, hey, like, these concerts are by donation for the musicians, and I can justify for the scenario there being 1, 2, or 3 musicians. Like, it is by donation, but I'm a performer, like, I'm gonna guarantee something. So my minimum right now in 2026, still was 2024, maybe I up it at some point. If the audience doesn't make these donations, I will give each performer, out of my own pocket, $200. I want each performer to walk away with at least $200 in terms of a minimum pay that I think values someone in the arts. Now, if you wanted to bring your community concert up to another level, another scale, the people at Fulton Place have really done this at another level. They're getting sponsorship, which is amazing. So the Fulton Place concert series in Edmonton here right now, that is pretty amazing. I know they had an interaction with Martin Kerr, who gave them suggestions. Martin's a pretty amazing person. Awesome that between them and, I don't know, maybe Martin doing the first concert, they've set up something regular, but they have sponsorship. They found a way to get sponsorship. They recognize their sponsors. That means there is a much more guaranteed way of having that pay in a safe way for all the performers. If you can get sponsors, that's amazing. You also don't need sponsors. For me, I've decided I can do 3 or 4, I'm kind of aiming for 4 concerts in my backyard in a summer. I'm just doing it my own way, not necessarily a consistent schedule. August here, I'm gonna take my marimba and put it in the back of my car, and I'm gonna drive across Alberta and BC by myself, playing wherever until I get to Victoria, where I 100% have 6 larger gigs, and then I'm gonna build a band there, and that'll be cool. So a version of my band with a past bandmate will exist in Victoria this summer, but I might be excited about that. I might be excited about, like, this weekend I want to go hang out at Sinister 7 because it's a pretty cool race. Hopefully there's someone who needs an extra runner on a relay team. I haven't all worked it out. So I've decided the schedule is different this year than it was last year. I had this performance last Sunday, skipping next week, and then it'll be the next 2 Sundays in July, and then one on August 2nd. The do-it-yourself concert, you can do it your own way. So I'm choosing the dates that work for my schedule, and as many of my supporters' schedules, well, especially my parents, I'm trying to make it work for them as much as possible. They're going to a canoe camp one of these Sundays, so they're gonna miss Michaela when Michaela brings her harp and sings. So my mom is sad about not getting to hear harp and voice in my backyard. I mean, Michaela plays other places too, so we could go visit Michaela some other time. You can never please everyone, and you just gotta go for it. But yeah, if you're gonna make your own little concert series, like, make it work with your life. I've just kind of decided, hey, I can't do everything. I can't be everything to everyone. I'm gonna make a concert series that fits my life on my schedule, and get as many people around it as I can. And yeah, that won't work for everyone, but nothing ever works for everyone. The dates are this year, they might be different next year. I think I can keep doing 3 or 4 concerts all the time. Well, probably 4. I think 4 is a good number. I think when it's 4, it feels like a series. And I did have my own group once in the 2 previous years that we've done it, but I don't want to do that too much. I guess there is one motivation. Okay, the backyard over there, that can be the private concert hall, and maybe that's where the one album release goes. The other part of this, I feel like a lot of times as a musician, this self-promotion is necessary, and it can be exhausting, and there's a lot of I don't know, ego, it can feel like ego, whether it's ego or not. It is necessary, show your work, show your life. You need people to come to your events. A lot of times as a performer, it's like, this is exciting, look at me. And one of the things I like about the idea of having this little concert series, having other performers out, is I can promote other musicians. Look at them. Look at these other amazing people who do these amazing things. I've been given so many opportunities. I just want to give opportunities for other people. There are not enough opportunities for performers. Let's give some other people some chances here. On the slight bit of self-interest too, maybe if I'm giving other performers opportunities, other people give me opportunities, all of the money taken here, and often I have ways of collecting money that I figured out from street performance that just work better than a lot of other musicians have in this kind of context. If I take in any donation, I give all of it back to the performers here. Tiffany coming in the other day, people paid her as well as they paid these 3-person bands. She's going through some difficult stuff in her life right now. As a single mother, I'm happy to be able to help someone out, and maybe even a little bit more generously. I've been surprised at some of the generosity that a few of my neighbors are frequently giving. If you make something that is personal, if you make something that is unique, that people can believe in, that people can connect to, I think the hyper-local can be one of those things. You might sometimes be surprised at people's generosity. Hyper-local could be one thing, but it's always worth going back and looking at Amanda Palmer, who's got this really well-known TED Talk YouTube video, but also a book with the same name. Just kind of thinking about how we ask, how things are framed. The street performers at the Edmonton International Street Performer Festival, which is happening right now, which is just a little bit over there in Churchill Square. There's this whole routine, there's this whole way of asking at the right emotional build for a circle show where they know how to ask in terms of bringing out generosity. Some of that might be, if you can make a donation, great. The one really common line in terms of supporting the arts that people might say is something along the lines of, we believe those that can pay will pay for those who can't. Whether it's a street circle show or whether it's a backyard community concert, if people don't have money, if it's gonna break up, you don't need to pay, just come and enjoy. But some people are more able. I think the arts kind of have to be that way. It's a little bit of a sliding scale. In a street performance, in a backyard community donation thing, just any kind of performance. If I'm playing for 20 people at a 5-year-old birthday party, what is the rate? What is your band's rate? If there's 20 people at a 5-year-old birthday party, how much should we charge? Okay, now, if it's the City of Edmonton New Year's Eve, which I have played for, or the Epcor Christmas Gala, which I have played for, or live on CBC, which I have played for, what is my rate then? Valuation of the arts is often challenging. In the quasi-street performance, or busking, or by donation, same as anything else, bit of a sliding scale. So if you can support, great, support. If you can't, just come and enjoy. I'm happy for everyone who can come and enjoy the arts in my backyard, whether able to financially support it or not. You want to give, you want the musicians to also be able to eat and afford their homes. It's a careful game, a balancing act, and the arts are hard. So another thing I did is I went and I put a little flyer in everyone's mailbox there. I advertised all of these 4 concerts in one flyer that gives a little write-up, a little bit of a selling pitch of what each of these 4 musicians are here, these acts I'm bringing in, saying who I am, saying my music experience. Been 2.5 years that I've lived in this townhouse complex, so I'm a musician living at this unit number, and I'm bringing in other musicians, and these are some amazing people doing amazing things. And also, hey, valuation of this. A coffee might be $5 now. Can you give $5? Or a band at a bar might be $20. If you think this is 2 tickets to the symphony, throw in 100. I was actually really surprised at my one neighbor who threw in 100 the other day. Awesome that he did. It has just been such a cool and awesome thing to be able to create an opportunity for musicians around Edmonton to showcase some different musicians. I particularly often like to share things that are a little bit different. You know, one person on a guitar, cool. Do they have a unique angle? It's fun if they have a unique angle. Or maybe some instruments that are not guitar. Next week we've got Farhad Khosravi coming in and doing some santur, which is basically this Iranian hammered dulcimer. It's really cool. I mean, another cool one, we had euphonium last year, so 2 euphoniums where they found this way of arranging a little bit of every type of music. I really liked their Holst arrangement, classical, but they do a lot of pop stuff. I met those people, euphonium, from the Edmonton Fringe Festival. I met Tiffany from the downtown farmers market. This other duo, Cat for Graham, I met them at the St. Albert Farmers Market busking. Farhad, I actually saw one of his concerts in sort of the side room at the Windspear. It was super cool. So I'm just bringing in musicians I'm meeting a little bit of everywhere, giving one more opportunity to them. Also, just able to showcase to my neighbors, my community, the musicians local to Edmonton I know, bring them here for my neighbors to enjoy. It is really cool to enjoy some cool music in a beautiful space. This space is so beautiful to have a little concert. It's wonderful, little peaceful, serene green space. And so much of the time, life is busy and demanding, and you know, maybe I've been a street performer where sometimes I feel like I'm optimizing for human attention and being a little bit ADD to suck people in, you know, the quick YouTube video edits or TikTok or whatever. Flip side, substitute teacher, and especially hanging out with like elementary kids in the music setting, sometimes it's just like so fast, change activity. I find a lot of our world is like that. You just gotta like move fast to suck people in, or you lose attention. And having a beautiful green calm space, even if it's not the quickest and easiest way to bring everyone out, it is pretty nice to have this relaxed environment where you can relaxedly enjoy the music and do it in a kind of contemplative way. That is me making some community concerts in my backyard. Maybe you want to start your own little community concert. Bring your neighbors together. I've had a pretty good experience. Maybe give it a try. The one other thing that is funny about all of this is I had been living over there in Unit 18 at my friend's place, Jaden Baudouin. Yeah, so Jaden and I met through military music in Ottawa a long time ago. Band of the Ceremonial Guard, puffy black hats, red suits, changing of the guard ceremony, parade to and from Parliament Hill from this armory. So I lived in his place over there for like 6 months. I mean, it was supposed to be about a year, but then he decided a little bit earlier than original that he was going to move to Victoria because it's always warm in Victoria and then you can bike all year long. So he's in Victoria now, a full-time military musician again, so he's come and gone from that job. He's back to it. When he decided he was going to move, I was like, oh man, I'm going to go rent somewhere else. Okay, sure, you know, just find another place. And then my parents decided to offer to help me with a down payment for a place, depending. I spent a long time thinking about it, and I'm still paying them back for that down payment. But anyway, the end result, after a lot of thinking, was not the cheaper apartment I was hoping on, but a place very much like Jaden's a place. Unit number 15, which I think is slightly superior to unit number 18. Unit 15 has this backyard, which is fantastic. So concert hall in the backyard. I took all my stuff with Jaden's help from Unit 18, carried it across the street to Unit 15. I didn't have all the things for the Hawaii at the time. Now, since the last couple days of December 2023, so basically since early 2024, like from the beginning of 2024, I've lived in Unit 15 at McDougall Landing, and this backyard here makes for a beautiful concert hall And I think this space in the heart of Edmonton probably fulfills all my real needs in life. So I don't see myself moving anytime soon. I will probably be living here forever and making backyard concerts here forever at this beautiful green space that is completely surprising in the heart of downtown Edmonton.